Hey guys, welcome back to another PS2 Memories video. Here we are taking a look at a budget style game by the name of D-Unit Drift Racing that was released on the PlayStation 2 back in 2006 and it was published by Phoenix Games. This is also a game that's part of another series of games where there was another version of the game released prior to this known as Drag Racer USA. I have done a video of that game, so I'll be sure to leave a link down in the description so that you can go and check it out. And if you do watch that video, you will instantly see the similarities of that game compared to this, as both games utilize the same engine. They've pretty much got the same visual elements in terms of the graphics, almost down to the environments and even the car models in question that you use in the game. The only difference is that they just changed the textures and some of the visual elements slightly, but the overall gameplay and style is very similar. The only difference really in terms of the gameplay is that in D-Unit Drift Racing you do race on tracks and you can drift the cars, whereas on Drag Racer USA you don't drift. You're pretty much just racing from point A to point B with the intention to win races, and then when you win races you accumulate points to earn unlockables so that you can unlock extra vehicles, even tracks and so forth as you go through the course of play. The same kind of elements appeal here in this game also, but the difference is with this, even though you have multiple cars on the track and you do lap raced events, the primary focus is not to win the race outright against your opponents through like coming in first place. The only way to win a race outright in this is to accumulate the most amount of drift points possible within each event, and you need to place on top of the leaderboard in order to win the event, which can be done for the most part as the game isn't really overly difficult to begin with to get started, but it can be a bit fiddly to get used to the controls, as they can be quite twitchy and a bit fiddly to get used to. But once you've gotten a fair idea of how everything works, you can win races fairly decently. The only downside with the game is, even though you have to accumulate points that you gain from winning races and so forth, you can use those points to upgrade your vehicles and even unlock extra perks and so forth, but it takes quite a while to do that, so you'll find yourself playing this game for quite a long time in order to do that, which for most people it can get quite repetitive very quickly, as there's not really enough within the game's nature to keep you really engaged for long periods of time. Like, it's fine for quick playthroughs every now and then, but if you're to sit and play for hours, this is probably one of those games that you won't play for that length of time. And it has a similar effect even with the other games I've mentioned, Drag Racer USA. It's also another one of those games that you'll briefly only play for quick playthroughs every now and then, and with it being a budget title you can definitely see that it is in terms of the gameplay visuals, the gameplay mechanics and elements and so forth, as they're very reflective of that style of game. Now, it's not to say that it's the worst racer on the system, but from having done a bit of research online and looked at reviews and so forth, the game did get mixed to a bit average or even below average reviews at best for what it is, because even when you look at the gameplay style and visuals, it looks like even a low quality or low budget even PS1 game. The graphics are very similar to a PS1 racing game. Now, it is what it is for what it offers. You can have a bit of fun with it for the most part if you can get used to the visuals and get used to the controls and so forth, but you may find very quickly, for most gamers, you may find it a bit repetitive and you may get bored with it very quickly, and you'll find moving on to something else will be more of your priority. But it's totally up to you and how you see it. But if you do want to play and explore a lot of these unique and even obscure budget style games, as there were a lot of them on the PlayStation 2 back in the day, there's no harm in trying these games out, even just for a quick playthrough to see what you think for yourself. And I would love to know your thoughts on this game if you have played it yourself, and if so, what did you think of it? Or have you even played the other game in the series, Drag Racer USA? And if so, what did you think of both of these games? Did you enjoy them or maybe not so much? Be sure to share it down in the comments below. So if you have enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of these unique and quirky style games being played, where I even do provide reviews and gameplay videos where I do share my thoughts and experience with everyone, then be sure to leave a like on the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be updated when future videos are released. And also be sure to check out these videos here on screen where I do provide other gameplay videos and reviews of other similar style of budget games that were also released on the system. So be sure to check those videos out, and I will see you all over in the next one.